Today, we're tackling something most of us have in the fridge right now, ketchup. But not the corn syrup-filled, shelf-stable for a decade kind. We're making regular homemade ketchup and fermented ketchup for gut health and longer fridge life. Same base recipe, one extra step for fermentation, no special equipment, no canning skills. So let's get into it. Hi y'all, welcome back to Tater Town. Most store-bought ketchup contains high fructose corn syrup, or lots of sugar, preservatives, and natural flavors that nobody can define under oath. But homemade ketchup gives you control over your ingredients, adjustable sweetness and salt, and you have an option for beneficial bacteria and longer shelf life through fermentation. The ingredients are really simple. You're gonna need 2 6-ounce cans of tomato paste, organic if possible, or 1.5 cups of homemade tomato paste. You need 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I use raw apple cider vinegar. You want 2 to 3 tablespoons of honey or maple syrup to taste. I use about 2.5. You need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I use Redmond real salt. 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. You could also use fresh garlic if you wanted. I like to add a couple of dashes of Worcestershire sauce. And you can also add other items like 1/4 teaspoon of ground mustard or a pinch of cinnamon or cloves. That's all up to you. And I do recommend trying different things to see what you like best in your ketchup. Now the optional part here is if you want to ferment your ketchup, you're gonna add 4 tablespoons of brine from a vegetable ferment like sauerkraut. You could also use 4 tablespoons of active whey from yogurt. And this is not the type of whey that you get from a whey powder protein shake. We're talking the whey that is strained from yogurt. You know, like Little Miss Muffet, curds and whey. If you make yogurt, you can strain it as if you're making a Greek yogurt. You can save the whey that comes from it and use that in it instead. Now, I like to use a vegetable brine because it's a little bit tangier. And what this is gonna do is provide the starter culture for your ketchup. But we'll get to this after we make plain old ketchup in case you don't wanna ferment it. Now, this is gonna make a very thick ketchup, way more than Heinz ketchup, if you've seen the commercials. So if you prefer, you can add a tablespoon or 2 of water to thin it out. At some point, I'm also gonna try adding a little bit of tomato sauce instead of water to see if that makes it a little bit thinner and still keeps a pretty concentrated taste. So I'm just gonna use a mason jar and put everything in it. First thing I'm gonna do is scoop out all of the paste from the cans. Next, I'm gonna pour 3 tablespoons of the apple cider vinegar and add it to the tomato paste. Then I'm gonna measure out 2.5 tablespoons of maple syrup. Now, if you decide you're gonna ferment this ketchup, you must use an actual sugar. So maple syrup, honey, you can even use real sugar, but it can't be a sugar substitute because the bacteria need to feed on something, and that something is sugar. Next, I'm gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of Redmond real salt. You can use whatever salt you have. And I'm gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Finally, I'm gonna add 2 splashes of Worcestershire sauce. You don't have to use it, I just like it in it. You're gonna mix this all together and congratulations, you've made regular homemade ketchup. All right, now you can stop here and put it in the fridge and this will keep for about 2 weeks. But don't leave this video just yet. I'm gonna show you how to ferment this ketchup and why you may want to, even if you think you don't. Fermenting the ketchup not only extends the shelf life from about 2 weeks to 3 to 6 months, but it turns it into a gut-healthy food. Adding the starter ferment introduces lactic acid bacteria, which consume sugar and acts as a natural preservative. In order to ferment this, all you're gonna do is add 4 tablespoons of brine from a ferment like this. This is sauerkraut. You can also use, like I said earlier, whey that you strain from yogurt. Add the 4 tablespoons of brine or whey, whichever you choose to use. and mix that in. And whatever jar you put it in, you want to make sure you leave about an inch of headspace above the ketchup in order to get, because the bacteria break down the sugars and release gas, so you want to make sure that there's room for a little bit of expansion. All right, now that this is all mixed up, I am just going to do a quick, it's really good. Even without fermenting it, I'm going to clean up around the edge here. If you're new to fermentation, I would highly recommend using a fermentation lid like this. I really like these airlock lids because they make the process foolproof, but you don't have to use them. You could just lightly put this on. Don't turn it the whole way and tighten it like that. You want to leave it loose so that the gas can escape from it. But the thing I like about these airlock lids, you're not introducing oxygen to the ferment. So all I do is put the lid on. You're going to fill this halfway with water. Snap this lid back on. We're just going to pop that in there, and that's it. Now you can set this on the counter for 2 to 3 days. Just make sure to keep it at room temperature. You don't want it to get cold and you don't want it to get overly hot, and keep it out of direct sunlight, preferably in a dark area. And what's happening is as the ketchup sits, beneficial bacteria multiply, the pH drops, making it acidic, the flavor deepens, and the shelf life increases. You may see small bubbles. You may also see a slight separation. It's totally normal. And after 2 to 3 days, you're going to taste it. And when it's slightly tangy and balanced, move it to the fridge. When you move it to the fridge, the cold temperature slows the fermentation and locks in the flavor. There will still be active fermentation, it just slows it way down. If you're having any issues, such as it's way too thick for you, you can add water. Add 1 tablespoon at a time until it's the consistency that you like. If it's too tangy for you, you can add a touch more honey or maple syrup. If you're not seeing any bubbles, your culture may not be active, so you might want to try fresher whey or brine. I typically like to use ones from a ferment that is actively fermenting, not one that's already been sitting in the refrigerator for a week or 2. If you find mold, toss it. Fermentation should smell sour. It shouldn't be fuzzy. Here are the pros and cons between a regular homemade ketchup and a fermented ketchup. The pro to the regular homemade ketchup is it's super fast and easy. It's got a kid-friendly flavor. There's no fermentation learning curve. The cons are it is a shorter shelf life and there's no probiotic benefit. Now with the fermented ketchup, the pros are you've got probiotics for gut health, and it also has a longer fridge life and a deeper, more complex flavor. And it uses traditional preservation methods, not the use of preservatives. The cons are that it does take a few days. It is slightly tangy, and that's not everybody's favorite, and it does require a live culture source. The last thing I'm going to recommend is use a little tag so that you remember when you made it. I mean, it's one of those things where even things without an expiration date, when you put them in the refrigerator, sometimes you're like, how long has this been in here? So I like to use these stickers and chalk markers so you can erase it when you're done. And I put what it is. Obviously it's ketchup. I'm not going to forget what that is. And then the date that I start the ferment. This is one of those recipes that no matter what your lifestyle is like, it can be extremely practical. Whether you go with a regular ketchup or if you ferment it, you're trading ultra-processed food for something real, simple, and adaptable. And yes, your hot dogs, hamburgers, and fries will still be happy. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments, regular or fermented ketchup. As always, thanks for hanging out here at Tater Town. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you can see more videos that will help you do those things you never thought you could.